lot of parents, communication with their adolescent is a major problem. There are many reasons for this. Not only are your child's hormones and body changing, but he or she is having to rehearse for adulthood with the mind and experience of a child. Often as parents, we are not prepared. We fall back to doing and saying things our parents did with us. But those were different times. They do not work in the same way. I will today answer some of the common questions parents ask so that you can facilitate your adolescent's passage to adulthood. The Chinese have a proverb, "He who asks a question is a fool for 5 minutes. He who does not ask a question remains a fool forever." Einstein too sometimes reflected upon the importance of being curious and spending time in order to ask the right questions. Trying to answer the wrong question is like looking for your lost item, not where you lost it, but where there is light. This takes you nowhere. I believe the 5th question in this series is the one which stands out amongst others in this sense. Parents and children will have their own agendas because they are separate people at different stages of their development. A parent-child relationship is hierarchical by its nature, and the parents have both authority and power over children. In order for communication to be possible, we parents have to allow our children's voices to come out and be heard. By answering the common questions parents bring, I will describe ways in which parents suppress their child's voice unwittingly and how you can reverse this situation and improve on your communication with your teenage children. Here is one question. My adolescent does not come home when they are supposed to. They are untidy, their room is a mess. They talk back, they are rebellious. How can I teach them to be more responsible and respectful? Adolescents need to redefine their relationship with their parents in order to individuate. If your adolescent is rebellious, you are on the right track. Over-obedient adolescents may not achieve a healthy separation from their parents. This might lead them to suffer from mental health problems as adults, such as avoiding conflict, inability to perform in public, depression, and so on. Young people do not learn anything simply by you trying to teach them. You can only show them by providing example with your behavior. Parents usually attempt to teach responsibility and respect by giving advice. Often, advice comes with predictions of disastrous consequences. For example, I hear parents say things like, "You must be tidy, you are so messy, no one will want to live with you." Or, "You must learn to live within the rules. I doubt if you can maintain a job with this attitude." This is like cutting their wings as they are experimenting with flying. The adolescent will roll their eyes and either ignore or talk back. They may show their anger if they feel safe enough. Giving advice will be disempowering you and your child both. Such comments are harmful. Even though the adolescent might seem not to take any notice, they would internalize your views and always wonder whether what you prophesied might come true. It will be very difficult for them to be anything other than what you suggested. It's almost like a curse. When giving advice is ineffective, the parents tend to resort to harsher measures such as chastising, abasing, and other forms of punishment. These forms of verbal and physical violence have terrible consequences for the adolescent's personality. She or he might get addicted to food, internet, sex, drugs, become pregnant, choose a violent partner, and almost certainly suffer from general low self-esteem. You need to be aware that adolescents are both children and adults. They will make mistakes and you will need to set boundaries for them to push against. This is your job, just as it is their task to test your authority, strength, and resolve. As you approach them with respect, so they will with you. You need to teach yourself to be respectful of your adolescent's growing individuality. They need space, both physically and emotionally. You need to let them grow apart from you, whilst being available whenever they need you. You need to let them make their mistakes and witness and support them in learning from their trial and errors. Your attitude to their struggles impacts on how they develop into adults. When their child is in pain, some parents get even more upset than their child. These children become very protective of their parents at their own expense. This interrupts the growth of their ability to be focused on what they want and they need. They learn how to relate others through relating to you. For these adolescents, the other people become more important than themselves. That's why you need to remember you are the adult in this relationship and need to stay calm, strong, and fair. Responsibility is like a muscle you learn to exercise. The more you practice, the better you become at it. You need to be able to let your adolescent take decisions. They will make mistakes sometimes. When this happens and they suffer, you need to be stronger than them by staying calm and supportive, helping them to recover and make sense of what has occurred. You must understand that condemning their mistakes is like saying, I cannot cope with your pain. You show them you are weak when you say, I told you so. When you label them as stupid, lazy, incompetent, clumsy, inattentive, and sometimes treat them like an unwelcome visitor. This is how they learn not to talk to you about important matters. They will learn from the results of their actions. Remember to praise their efforts in whatever they do, even if the results are not perfect or below your general expectations. You need to communicate your trust in them that they will bring out their best eventually, and that's what matters. Their best being really their choice of best, not what somebody is expecting them to be, even you. You and your loved ones are significant. To receive regular tips to help you achieve more autonomy, visit my page.